customer include and add the additional fields. If this customer include is not available, the other way of adding the additional fields is what? Through append structure. So if you observe here, what they are saying, you define your fields in the include what? CA underscore what? AMPL. So if you eliminate this CA underscore, the rest of the part is nothing but your base table. If you eliminate the CA underscore part, the rest of the part is nothing but what? Your base table name. So what is the base table name here? AMPL. Okay. I got the base table name. The base table name is AMPL. What is the next thing you are saying? First of all, you have to add the fields in the done. You specify these fields in the subscreen. And then we have third and fourth step. We'll discuss that later on. So let me close. So by reading the documentation, I understood that this is related to the screen exit because they're talking about what? Additional fields. So where you have to add the additional fields in which table? AMPL. So what I'll do now? Let me go to what? AMPL. Okay, let me go to AMPL. So I'll go to S11. S11. What is the base table name? AMPL. I cannot open this any standard table in what? Change mode. It will ask you for what? Access key. Okay, it will ask you for access key. So let me open it in display mode. So already this table has got how many fields? It has got some 14 fields. We are not bothered about the existing fields. Our job is to add the additional field. So what is the first thing I have to do? I need to check whether this table is having any customer include. Already in the documentation, we came to know whether it is having the customer include. Still, you can search here. Customer include always starts with what? CA underscore. So let me search for CA underscore AMPL. CA underscore followed by the table name. That is a naming convention generally most of the times. Yeah, good. You can see here we have what? CA underscore AMPL dot include. So in this table, we are having this include. Going forward, we'll see some more examples related to screen enhancements. We'll come across some standard tables which doesn't have what? This particular customer include. So at that time, we'll go for what? Append structure approach. So that at that time we'll discuss about append structure. Done. So now we are having this customer include. So this customer include is reserved for what? User modification. So I need to double click on this include. If it is the first time, it will ask you to create that particular include. So let me double click on this. Done. What is saying here? The structure is not available. Create the structure. Yes, I'll say done. So it has opened that particular customer include in what? Editable mode. You add the additional fields. So let me give the additional fields then as something. Some description I'll give. Acha. Now again, we have to provide the field names now. So you can provide your own field names, appropriate field names. It is a job of developer to decide the field names. Most of the time the developer will decide the field names, but we have to sit with the functional consultant and understand what is the purpose of those additional fields. We have to understand with the functional consultant the purpose of the additional fields. When it's a purpose, whether you want to store the additional numeric data, additional date and time fields, or additional character fields. So we have to collect that particular information. So in this case, I want to add some two fields. I want to add two fields of type of character because I want to store some additional string information, character information. Okay, so I need to add the additional fields. And one more thing is, whenever we are adding the additional fields in the standard table, it is recommended to follow customer namespace standards. Okay, whenever we are adding the additional fields in the standard table, it is recommended to follow what? Customer namespace standards. So when I say customer namespace standards, according to this, what are the additional fields we are going to add? Those additional field names should start with ZZ or should start with what? YY. This is the recommended naming convention to add the additional field names. Even if you don't start with ZZ or YY also, it will work fine. But the problem will come when we are doing the upgradation. So when you are upgrading to the higher version, SAP will check for this particular naming standards. That is the reason, to avoid that issues at the time of upgradation, better we follow the recommended standards. So what are the recommended standards? We have to follow the customer namespace standard, that is the field names. The additional field names should start with what? ZZ or what? YY. So let me give the field name as ZZ. I'll give some component name, any name we can give. I'll give competitor name, ZZ competitor name, any meaningful name. Then I'll choose what here, types. Then I'll choose types, component types. Again, most of us are, it is always expected that we know ABAP. So we can add the additional fields either by referring to the direct data type or by referring to what, data elements and domains. It is always recommended to go for what, data elements and what, domains. So here I'll give the component type, nothing but what, I'll give the field name. Sorry, I'll give the data element name. Let me give the data element name as Z competitor name. Since it is my custom data element, you have to start the custom objects with what, Z or Y na. So I'm giving the data element as Z competitor name. I don't know whether it is available or not. When I press enter, if it is available, it will display the data type or size, or else it will prompt you to create that. So let me press enter. What is saying here, it is not active, means it is not available. Let me double click on this and create the data element. So again, we should not focus on these things. As an ABAP consultant, we already know how to add the fields in the structure a table. Okay, I'll double click on this, create the type, yes. I'll save it in the local object, done. It is asking what you want to create. I want to create what, data element. So I'll choose continue. I'll provide some short description, domain. I'll give the domain name as ZCMP name. ZCMP name. The data element name and domain name can be same or it can be different. So here wantedly I gave a different domain name, ZCMP name. I'll press enter. If I press enter, if the domain is available, it will display the data type and size. Otherwise, you have to create that particular domain. So let me press enter. It is saying no active domain is available. Done. I need to create this particular domain. I'll double click on this. Create the domain. Yes. I'll give some description. Done. Data type. I'll give it as character of something 20. Okay. Activate your domain. Save the domain. Check for the syntax error. Activate the domain. Done. Domain is activated. Domain is activated. Go back, and already we know as part of data element we will maintain the field label, so that that label will appear automatically on the screen wherever it is used. So I'll go to what, field at the data element level. As part of field level, I'll maintain some medium label. I'll give the medium label as competitor name, so that wherever this data element is referred, the label will be picked automatically. So I'll choose competitor name. Activate your domain. Activate your data element. So data element is also created. Let me go back. So I got the data type and size. Let me create another field name, ZZ competitor address. Okay, types, what is this, Z competitor address, some name, some data element name. I'll press enter. It is not available, it seems. Let me quickly create this. I'll choose data element, continue. I'll provide some description. Domain, I'll give it as something ZCMP address. No active domain is available. Done. I'll double click on this. I'll save it in the local object. Create the domain. Yes. I'll provide the description here. Some description. This I'll give it as something character of 25. Something. Okay. Activate your domain. Domain is activated. Let us maintain the label also for this. I'll give it something meaningful labels. Okay, competitor, because we know the purpose of the field. So here I want to capture the competitor details. So that's the reason I'm giving the labels as so and so. Activate your data element also, done. Okay, then as usual we have to give the enhancement category now. So I'll choose extras enhancement category. We already know all these things in our basic ABAP. Okay, so I'll choose can be enhanced character type or memory, done. Okay, so we are done with what, creating the additional field. Save it, check for the syntax error, done. Activate this activation will definitely take some time. Let me activate. Okay, so I'm trying to activate. Errors occurred when activating. Why was current enhancement category is incorrect? Okay. Scroll down. Okay, so done. So it is giving the warnings related to existing structures. I'm not bothered about this. Let me go back. Is it activated? Yes. I'm bothered about my fields only. I'm not bothered about the existing fields. Then it is activated. No problem. So let me go back. Right. So you can see here. If I go back and redisplay the table. Okay. So you can see as part of this AMPL table, somewhere at the end, you can see we have what? CA underscore AMPL, which has got what? Two fields. Done. It has got two fields. So am I clear? So we are able to add what? Additional fields in the standard table through what? Customer include. If customer include is not available, we have to go for an append structure that we'll see in the coming examples. Acha. So initially, assume that our requirement was adding only two fields. We have added and we have added those fields at the screen level also. At later point of time in the business, again the customer may come to you and say that you want some more additional fields. So what you have to do again? Just double click on this structure. At that time it will not ask you for creating this, it will already created. So double click on this, open this in change mode and add the additional fields. Understood? So in the same customer include we need to keep on adding the additional fields. So first step is done. We have added what? Additional fields. We have added the additional fields. Any questions so far? Okay, so if there are no questions, right. What is the next requirement? I need to add these additional fields at the screen level. So as I told you, most of the times these additional fields cannot be placed directly on the normal screen. They are added as part of a subscreen, and that subscreen will come and sit on top of what? Subscreen area. So let me go back to the test mode. Identify the components once again. This is my customer exit. I'll just components display, done. So we need to collect this information. So see here, we need to understand this first. So what is that they gave here? Calling screen, it seems. Okay, calling screen. What is the calling screen name they gave? Calling screen program name SAP LM it seems. SAP LM done. Then they gave the number here, some number they gave. Nothing but I think this is main screen number. Main screen number they gave it as 120. Done. Then they gave the subscreen area name, user 0001. So this is subscreen area. This is a subscreen area. Done. Next, called screen it seems. Done. Then this is your number. Subscreen number. Earlier one is main screen number, this is subscreen number. What they are saying, shortage subscreen without field. So why I collected this information means already I told we require the knowledge of basic ABAP, module pool. In module pool programming, how do you call the subscreens? What is the syntax for calling subscreens in module pool? Call subscreen. This we already expected to know. Call subscreen area, including subscreen program name followed by subscreen number. Okay, so this is the syntax for calling the what subscreens in what module pool. Call subscreen area including subscreen program name followed by what subscreen number. So what is the subscreen area they gave here? User 0001. What is the subscreen program name they gave? So this calling screen is basically the main screen. This is nothing but your what normal screen program. Okay, and this is your called screen is nothing but your what subscreen program. Okay, so subscreen program name is what SAP LX AMP. What is the subscreen number here? 1000. The subscreen number is what 1000. Am I clear? Call subscreen area including subscreen program name followed by what subscreen number. So I got this information. So let me go and check whether whatever I collected whether that is valid or not. So what is the main screen program name? Main program name, when it's a normal screen program here, nothing but main program. This is nothing but what main program. What is the main program name here? SAP LMBM. What is the main screen number? 120. Where I can check this information in module pool screen painter SE51. So let me go to SE51. Am I clear? I'll just go to SE51. SE51 screen painter. Done. What is the program name here? Main program name SAP LMBAM. SAP LMBAM. So let me give that program name. Right. Then what is the screen number we collected? Main screen number 120. Yeah? Let me try to provide that. 120. I'll click on display. Am I clear? I don't know whether this is available or it should be available. When I click on display, I clicked on the display. Good. It has opened that. You can see now. If you go to the attributes. Good. What is the screen type here? The screen type is what? Normal screen. Okay, done. And you can see here, again, we know in module pool, where we can use this syntax. We can use this syntax only in what? Flow logic section. So if you observe the flow logic here, what they have done, you see, how do you call a subscreen? What is the syntax I said? Call subscreen. But this is subscreen related to the customer. What is the syntax they're following? Call customer subscreen. I'll come to this point later on. So they're calling that call customer subscreen area name, including subscreen program name followed by what? Subscreen number. So we are not bothered about that. Somewhere they are calling the customer subscreen. Let me go to the layout. So this is what type of screen? Normal screen. So as I told you in the earlier discussion, on the normal screen you'll have what? Subscreen area. What is the subscreen area proposed by SAP? User 0001. So let me open that. I'll go to the layout. It is opening in the layout editor. Good. So you can see here, this is my normal screen, and on this normal screen already there are some fields, standard fields given by SAP. Somewhere on the normal screen you can see they gave some empty area. If I double click on this, good. What is saying here? Subscreen area user 0001. So whatever the subscreen we are going to construct with that additional fields in the runtime, that subscreen will come